Hello, Dal, Wisconsin show. I'm Wylie Something.
How's it going, everyone? Welcome back. I can say welcome back now because we already did an episode. This is episode 2 of the Dale, Wisconsin sessions. We're here in 91.3 FM, WBNY, the checkerboard lounge of the studio. Currently doing an interview as part of the Dale, Wisconsin sessions. He's waking up from his Rust-Belt dreams. You may know him from his stints with bands like RayBees, the DOT. Is it the DOT or the Dot?
DOT.
The DOT, Affliction. It's alt country / slacker rock rocker. Jacob Smolinski. Is it Smolinski?
Yeah, it is.
Jacob Smolinski, a.k.a. Wylie Something. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Welcome to the show.
Good to just be here.
Yeah.
Damn.
How are you feeling on this fine Sunday afternoon?
I'm feeling refreshed. I'm feeling like cheddar.
Cheddar?
Baby. Wisconsin cheddar.
How are you? What have you been up to lately? I know you just put out a new single with Crap Basket, as he is known.
Yeah. Basically, just spending a lot of time writing, a lot of time recording. I love sitting in my sunroom, especially like around this time of the year, and just writing songs, recording in there. I like get my whole like setup going, and it's just really, really fun to yell at my dog and record music.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of your videos online of you recording in your studio. I mean, do you feel like I don't know. I feel like having the daylight helps in there.
100%. It gets, like when the street lights go on,
yeah,
it's a completely different vibe.
Right.
That's like, couple of beers, you're going late into the night.
Yeah. It's
different than like just having a meditative Sunday afternoon to just sit and strum a nylon string guitar,
Yeah, yeah. I'd imagine at nighttime is when you enter the chill mode.
That's.
Or is it chill mode all the time?
It is chill mode all the time. What am I saying? Like it's been one of those things like where I feel like the older I get, the more the chill calls to me,
I think that's like the main like vibe I get from listening through your discography. I mean, even like some of the stuff you were making like going on, well, I mean, not going on, but like 7-8 years ago.
Yeah.
And like that stuff is very interesting to listen to too. And I mean, like, I don't know, because I feel like you've evolved in like a very interesting way to me. Because I mean, I feel like most people are like, oh, well, if you've been doing anything, I mean, I guess it's been like after a certain amount of time, you would totally flip on yourself. But I mean, I think like it's aged like fine wine.
Whoa. I really appreciate that because like, I think there was a bit more of like an indie rock, maybe slightly emo bent,
yeah
sure. To some of the earlier stuff that I was doing, very influenced by like Porches and Frankie Cosmos and like that sort of stuff, especially back in the day. And like I was living in Philly for a lot of that, like from 2013 to 2019.
Okay.
Like that era to me was very influenced by like who I was seeing live at that time and stuff like that. And so, bands like Alex G, Sheer Mag, etc., like getting nerdy with it. And it's been really fun though to kind of like take a step back and really learn how to record over these past couple of years and just constantly like trying to push things in a different direction. And as you kind of said off the top, like, I'm not chill with RayBees, but then Wylie Something has kind of become like my little safe haven,
For sure. I think it's interesting that you bring up Alex G, especially in like the genre of slacker rock, because I mean he's kind of like, I mean I wouldn't say he's like the dude, but he's one of the dudes, and I think
he's definitely one of the dudes.
I think in terms of recording, especially like his first couple of albums, like definitely some interesting recording stuff going on in there.
Yeah.
Like, is that something that you still like are applying like consistently to this day, or just kind of when learning?
Yes and no. Like, I remember hearing Trick for the first time and being like, "Oh, I could apply this in super devious ways, whether that's like double panning guitars, double panning vocals, figuring out like, okay, let's just slap as much delay on something and just clang it out, you know?"
Yeah, because even on that first Race album,
I
remember he like double panned like the whole entire drum kit.
Yeah,
like crazy shit like that.
And like that's like, I remember when I first stumbled across like the OCs and stuff, and listening to like a lot of like the John Dwyer solo stuff, where he was doing 2 different drum takes that complemented each other in like either channel of the ear. I never really got like that far into like doing double drums, except like I just did it with Crap Basket.
Yeah.
We double tracked drumming, and so like one is like a tom take, one is like a 4 on the floor sort of deal, and then one is just going.
Hell yeah, I love that.
But yeah, just recording is just really, I think, in doing stuff DIY is really, really fun.
So something on the subject of DIY and recording, I mean, you've notoriously recorded at home for like, I mean, from what it seems like, pretty much your entire discography.
Just about, yeah.
Like, what drives that as opposed to recording at a dedicated recording studio? Like, what are the benefits for you?
Money.
Yeah, money.
And also, I just love the process.
Right.
Like, but like, I guess like what I'd say like is, you know, I've gotten the chance to do some formal recording with like previous bands like Clump and stuff.
Yeah.
And even like recording in like basements and stuff. But I've never really been drawn to an overproduced sound. I like the blemishes. I like to hear the dog barking in the background every once in a while.
Right.
I like to hear the chirping of the birds in the sunroom kind of like faintly in the background, or like a car whizzing by. And I'm kind of, I really like that raw side of recording, and still trying to figure out how to make it sound really good.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I couldn't really imagine a Wylie Something album produced at GCR.
Yeah.
You know?
Right.
Yeah. We're back in the Dow, Wisconsin show. This is a little song called Opposite Hill. Screaming down yonder hill, can't stop the momentum or the forces that will. Cartoon Cash jumping out the back, bill from the windows before the big crash, before the big crash, before the big crash. You watch from the opposite hill, wheeling up smoke signals in the cotton candy sky. Summer flies by, class stands offering good old buddy goodbyes. Limoncello, sunrise, this yellow chemtrails cutting into my house. Settle dust in the guess I'll lay here for a while, waiting for receptors in my brain to rewire. My brain to rewire. My brain to rewire. You descend the opposite. Throw myself a trial, and I need that to go on for a while.
Something that I really wanted to talk to you about is specifically like the video work that you've done around your music.
Yeah.
I originally, because I don't know which came first for me, because when I discovered you, it was either, I say discovered like it was this magical thing. No, just like when I figured out you existed, like
Yeah.
it was either I saw you at Black Dots, it was either that or I saw this video you were doing. I think it was, you were trying to promote a show you were doing at Revolver. And you had, yeah, it was that, I wrote down his name, Jacob Nicholson.
Yeah.
And you guys had like a Pokemon battle, but it was like between
Decrepit.
like, yeah, it was between like your nylon string and his piano or something.
Yeah, and
kept going.
Birkenstocks.
Yeah,
and
Birkenstank.
The Birkenstank.
Yeah. But yeah, can we get that? Did we get
Did that work?
Did we get that?
We got it.
No Sock Club.
Beautiful. From what I understand, like you do a lot of media production work outside of music. Like how did you get into that, and like how did you start applying it to your music?
Well, I think it's kind of like I've always loved playing music since, you know, like the high school years, had like a garage band called the Cascos and stuff like that. But at that same time that like the Cascos started, I really got into video work at my high school, then went to college for video production, then went on to work for nonprofits, worked for Comcast Sportsnet. I don't even want to go into that.
Right, yeah.
You know, like doing like highlight reels for the Philadelphia 76ers and stuff like that. And then I got to do stuff with like Philly Cam, working with the Philadelphia Jazz Project, and like just like really bizarre jobs.
Yeah.
But I got to get like a pretty wide breadth of like what you can do with video. And it's like very relaxing to me to like sit down and like come up with like a concept for something really, either whether it's something just goofy or maybe it's just like a performance of a song, but like it ends up just being just a fun extension like of like the work that I do on a daily basis with my current job at like an ad agency and stuff.
Yeah.
So especially when like you want to promote a show and you don't want to just be like, here's the flyer. There's been some infamous videos through the years for friends like Matt Lipman and Photoshops with Crap Basket whenever we do a show and stuff. And it's just like, yeah, it's just that it ends up being something really, really kind of like methodical and relaxing for me to do.
Yeah. When you talk about collaborators, that gets me going, because you, I mean, notably over like the past few releases you've had. I mean, I noticed you've I know you've collaborated a lot with Brand Shalia, is that how you say his name, of Steak and Cake?
Yeah.
As well as Cameron. Is Cameron? Yeah, of Crap Basket.
Yeah.
Because I know Wylie Something started off as like a mainly solo project for you, but I know you've had like various collaborators over the years. So like what kind of made you want to expand out?
I think like at different times in your life as a musician, you meet different people, and sometimes they're good fits, sometimes it's not so good, but like over time, I don't really see anything as like truly permanent, you know? And that sounds kind of like stupid and maybe philosophical or something, but like I feel like each era of Wylie Something was really defined by the people who worked on it, and I'm really thankful for all those people, whether or not that we like still are in contact and stuff like that, or like just whatever, you know, like I feel really psyched that a lot of these things exist, you know?
One of the things I really like about going through your discography is that I feel like you've been so prolific throughout all of these different eras of your musical career. Like, I kind of get the vibe that you're very much like you like to make something and then move on to the next thing. You know what I mean? Like I don't, and it's not to say that I don't think you're tinkering around, because I definitely get that, but I guess what I'm wondering is like what is your creative process like, just as a general thing?
Yeah, that's honestly a good question, because like it kind of changes from like project to project, and like when I was younger, I would write a bunch of songs, demo them out, and then sit on them until I could find like a weekend to just like record them all in a batch and like then move on from there. Play shows with different crews of people and all that stuff. But like recently though, like my favorite way to work is do you know that app BandLab?
Yes.
It's kind of like my favorite thing in the entire world. I bought this little USB mic that plugs into my phone, and then I can monitor it through headphones and stuff, and I can do things to a click, whatever. And then I just basically will lay around my house and just make drum beats and loops and stuff and come up with songs. And whether that's like performing snippets of them and then like in front of a camera and then just like uploading them to Instagram as kind of like a personal diary or whatever, and then returning to them years later and being like, okay, now I think this would fit in like this particular project, etc. And like time to do like a really glossy record of it, you know? Oh, and then or expanding on it and like, ooh, this would be cool to take a demo from 2022 and then write 4 more verses for it and then just see where it goes. And like I think it's really fun to like leave things as open-ended for yourself and not being like too married to one particular sound or one particular idea. And I've kind of come to realize that like with any era of like creativity that I end up in, I just try to make the most of it while I have that energy to be like creating stuff that's coming from a similar place, and then just kind of like tuck it away for a bit. And then when it feels ready, dive back in and go for it. So
yeah, the thing I really like about, because it's interesting you were talking about like your social media posts feeling like kind of like diary entries. I really like the way that you sort of present yourself. Like it feels very like autobiographical, but it's like happening as it's happening.
yeah. Well, I think like to kind of go off that point with like the social media and stuff, I don't really like social media. I think it's just funny. Like, and I think treating it more like a diary or autobiographical sort of thing kind of combats that for me, because like I don't want to be somebody just like posting the same 15 seconds of their song over and over again. You know, like that doesn't interest me. And what interests me is like, ooh, I can just like pop 45 seconds of like a new song that I just wrote today and then just forget about it. But it's super nice because when I'm writing a lot of these songs, I completely forget how to play them and I forget what tunings they're in and like stuff like that. And so seeing my hands makes it really easy to just be like, oh, that's how I was doing that.
Of course.
And so it's kind of like, it's kind of self-serving in a lot of ways, you know?
Yeah. I mean, I know that like you've been pretty against kind of like, oh, well, like, here's how my numbers are, you know what I mean? I feel like a lot of people who do post their 15-second clip or whatever, it's very much like a validation thing. So I guess for me, what I'm wondering is like, how do you get validation for yourself from making music, like outside of that?
Outside of that, it's literally the process and just being really stoked about that first time that you get to like bump a mix in a car is like really exciting to me. Or like the first time that I like plug it into my monitors or something and I'm like, wait, oh my God, this is fucking sick. And then like texting it to some close friends and being like, do you guys have any like ideas or tips to like take this to the next level or something? And I feel like that's kind of more how I go for the validation, because even if you get like a post, say, that pops off, goes viral or something, that sort of like numbers validation has never been why I've done music in the first place. It's just to make songs that I really enjoy listening to, or like filling a void in terms of like sound or audio, or an album that like, oh man, I wish I had an album that sounded like this at this particular time, you know?
I feel like with social media, it's more like you are casting a wider net if you feed into it, but also that net is like made out of paper. It just snaps immediately. But I feel like the way that I mean, I don't know how it is if it's a universal experience, but the way that you've kind of grabbed me, it feels like the net is very strong because it's just
well, thank you. Yeah.
I mean, the thing that I admire about like your work is it's real, you know? And I feel like that's there is a lot of that out there, but I don't know, you bring this very like your perspective on it is just very it feels very close to me, just because I mean, you know, you are from Buffalo, you make a lot of references to Buffalo. I don't know. That's just how it feels to me, I guess.
Well,
I was
that honestly does make my day, because like ever since like I started, you know, like just like posting those random snippets or like full performances of like a song or like a demo of like with like BandLab's DAW in the background or whatever, it's like at the end of the day, it's just for fun, you know? I'm like, I know like a lot of folks are like, I want to quit my day job. I want to pursue music full time and stuff. Like I don't think there's anything wrong with that in any regard. It's just not for me. And so like for me to exist and kind of curate like, well, maybe this song isn't that good, but I still kind of like it, you know, like it's just, you know. We're back again on the Dow, Wisconsin show. The song is called Sunset of 77. about what it must have felt like during the blizzard of 77. Classic Buffalo lore. What that sunset must have felt like, if there even was one. Sitting in the shallows, watching the days turn to night. It's alright, constellations look so fragile. Stoned is the cloud cover, slinks in with your whisper of slide. It ain't right, put yourself from out the gutter. Stay wicked. That state of the art. Keep me honest from the start. Wind blows in 7-7, torrential 7th heaven of fright. I might make a change for the better, unravel all them loose ends, ditch them seeds of regret, a kite spiraling across that crooked sunset. Stay wicked, stay harsh, 'cause I ain't that state of the art. Keep me Thank you. I'm Wylie Something.
Your latest EP, Up Through the Rust, has now been out for 7 months.
Yes.
How do you feel about the record now, and how has the reception been?
It's been super fun. I guess what I would gauge a successful release is if you sell out your physicals.
Yeah.
And I was able to sell those out in a week or so, and got to do only one trip to the post office, which was very baller.
Yeah.
But I was kind of really overwhelmed with the support from Buffalo Blog and 1120 Press, and they Buffalo Blog had posted a best of 2025, and they included the song God's Country on there. And I was just what? That's so wild that it resonated with people. And the thing that was really important to me about that EP was that was the first time that I've ever played drums entirely over an album or an EP, other than Scatter the Pieces, that was very controlled, a 3-piece drum set. This is the first time I've done full drums.
Yeah, are you a guitar player by trade, or where did you start with?
I actually started with piano,
okay,
and then taught myself guitar, and then just everything else kind of fell in line.
Okay.
But Up Through the Rust was crazy to me because that's me on every instrument.
Yeah.
And a lot of those songs were demos from the past year and stuff that I had no clue what I was planning on doing with it. And but then as soon as I recorded God's Country, the whole EP kind of just revealed itself, and it was just a really, really special period of time where I just practiced the drums every day.
Yeah.
And that was my only thing I did for all of November, and then it came out, I don't know, January or something, or whenever it did.
Yeah.
But getting to play those songs then live with the DOT was so cool. Like getting to hear them reimagine them. And yeah, it was a very cool response to like see it actually like get recognized by some publications, and yeah, just like selling out of the physicals and stuff like that. So
I mean, speaking of the physicals and the DOT, that was another recent thing that you did too.
Yeah.
You made 45s for that, right?
Yes.
Is making vinyl, is that like a scary purchase?
It is so scary.
Yeah.
Cause like we did lathe cut 7 inches.
Yeah.
So like they're technically not vinyl, but like they're still records that play on a record machine and stuff. But that was intimidating as hell because like it costs like $500 or $600 for like 30 copies, and like selling those just to turn a little bit of profit to make the next thing easier to do. It's stressful because you don't know how it's gonna perform or anything, but like it was super wild when we did our 7-inch release show with the Curls out of Chicago at Black Dots, and like we were able to sell like 15 of them in one show, and like just it was really cool.
Yeah.
How
did that sort of like, how did the people from the DOT, how did it come together for you?
So it's super wacky. Yurik, the drummer, we went to high school together and had a band called The Poles. Shout outs Polish Nation for that. I don't know why we were.
So not like a physical pole, like Poland.
Like Poland, yeah. Me and Yurik are two Smolinski and Lulanek.
Okay, yeah.
And so we were just like, we're just two Polish guys making garage rock. And so I've been playing drums or playing with Yurik since high school, but we when I moved off to Philly, we still like talked and stuff, but then it's been super cool to reconnect with him over these songs. And then Cam, I've also known since high school when he was playing in a band called Victory for Poland, another Polish reference. I don't know what the hell's going on. But and then Bella, I met through a band that we were in called Rue, that was really, really fun, kind of like a dance indie band from back in the day. And then, yeah, I asked all them I was like, please, will you play as the backing band? And everybody kind of was just like, yeah. And it's been super fun.
Speaking of fun things, I wanna talk about the new thing that you got cooking up in the back kitchen.
In the back kitchen. May 1st, 2026. A new album, the 6th full-length album by Wylie Something. Nap. It's a really chill collection of songs that were inspired by bands like Rose City Band, Jessica Pratt, a lot of slower stuff and just mild psychedelia. I can't smoke weed when I record because I get scared. But these are nice songs to smoke weed to and fall asleep.
I mean, that being said, though, I mean, you mentioned you started with piano, and you have a lot of. I mean, it sounds like sort of like a Wurlitzer Rhodes thing.
Yeah, so that was back in. So like, this album kind of has 2 dimensions to it, where it's a collection of electric piano recordings that I made back in 2021, like in like December. And it was back when I was working for a dog training facility. Okay. And so they would give us 1 week off, like across the board to everybody per year. And I would always use that time to just like do something musical. And so I had come up with a bunch of piano compositions, and I had recorded them, and I completely forgot about them. But then I was going through an old hard drive, and it was right around the time that I had recorded the first single that I was just having fun doing, called Mirage, which I play today. But I realized that if I was to kind of sequence out an album with electric piano recordings and then really chill stuff and incorporate samples and stuff like that, it could be a really, really fun listen. And I've heard people kind of do that sort of thing before. It's not like I'm like forging new territory or anything, but I wanted to kind of put my spin on it. And yeah, it's just a fun little bedroom psychedelic album, I think.
Yeah, I mean, speaking of that, you have a lot of like different samples over like those sorts of tracks. Like, what are those from?
Ooh, those are from some of my favorite movies.
Yeah.
One, I don't want to do too much spoiling, but like, screw it. I mean, it's the Taste of Things is a French film that's about two like 50-year-old chefs in like 1900s France, and it's this steamy romance. He's shucking oysters for her. He's finding pears that look like her butt. It's beautiful. But they have this really beautiful conversation about like their favorite seasons, and that's something that really has influenced me over the years, is like, what does an album feel like season wise? And I thought that'd be a really cool way to kind of kick off the album. Then I sampled a conversation from Jackie Brown, a classic Tarantino movie that I think is really fun that's putting my 30s into perspective for me. And yeah, and then Paris, Texas, which is a crazy slow burn of a movie that my friend Alex told me to watch, and we went and saw it at North Park, and it blew my mind. And there's a monologue that I kind of rip that's really important to me. And so like those things, and then my late dog is the snoring noises throughout the album and stuff. So, because he was a stinky little Shih Tzu, and he was like 16 years old, and he would just lay around in sunspots snoring. So it's kind of a personal album, but at the same time, I don't think it's necessarily limited to any one feeling.
But I mean, to kind of wrap it up, like, what do you hope people get from this record? That
I think from this record especially, I simultaneously want people to find comfort in it, but also realize that not all music has to be like unabashedly in your face, you know? Like I think there's something really pretty about putting together an album that can live as background music, but the more you listen to it, you kind of like start to peel back the layers, and there's some nuance to it, and it's not just like formal A B C structure, you know? And like I think I took some chances stylistically, and I just really want people to just give it a try, you know?
Yeah.
See if that's but like I also understand too, like if that's not their headspace they want to be in, it's not going to resonate.
Right.
It's like one of those things like where it's very steadfast in like its particular vibe.
I do find that interesting though, because I feel like a lot of I guess at least like objectively, like a lot of the top records of all time, it's like those records kind of more like they're trying to talk at you. But I think the thing that I really appreciated about this is it's there, it's laid back, but it's like if you want it, it's there.
That's very true.
But I'm glad that is confirmed for me from you right now.
Right now in this moment.
But I mean, that being said, though, is there anything that you want to say? Is there anything you want to promote?
Yeah,
Anything at all before we cut it out?
Yeah, I'd like to shout out Po Boy, the old dog. Rest in peace. I'd also like to thank all my homies that have listened and given feedback. They know who they are. And I'd like to shout out Reaper, the DAW.
The DAW
is so sick. I love it. It's so great. Open source for the win. Always evaluating, never paying. And then lastly, shout outs, really fun, janky pieces of instruments that you can get at Allentown Music. Frickenbacher's $99 crummy 3/4 size nylon strings. Go used. Get something that's lived in. Have fun with it. Rip that shit, you know? So that's what I got. Oh, and stay tuned for Nap coming out on May 1st.
Thank you very much for coming on the show.
Thank you.
And I'm gonna go now. So, bye.